Why is consensus so hard to find in a risk-filled world, and how do information bubbles make it worse? Let's start with a moment we all remember. Early 2020, COVID-19 spreads like wildfire. Borders close, streets go silent. Suddenly, we're all living in a disaster movie we didn't audition for. But here's the thing, COVID wasn't just a health crisis. It was a giant flashing sign saying, "Welcome to the risk society." That's the term German sociologist Ulrich Beck used for our modern world, where the biggest dangers we face are global, man-made, and hard to predict. In the past, a risk might be a dangerous sea voyage, a bad harvest, or maybe a local flood. Today, think nuclear accidents, financial meltdowns, pandemics, climate disasters. These aren't local storms, they're global hurricanes, and no single country or leader can just fix them. Why not? Complexity. Modern society is like an insanely complicated machine. We each work on our own little part, but almost no one sees the full blueprint. That means a tiny glitch in one corner can set off a chain reaction across the world. Huge events, what Nassim Taleb calls black swans, catch us completely off guard. Beck put it bluntly, you can be rich, but you can't buy your way out of risk. It's the admission fee for living in the modern world. So how do we manage these risks? By leaning on three things. As political scientist Francis Fukuyama pointed out, strong state capacity, governments that actually work. Social trust, people trust the system, and the system trusts its people. Leadership, leaders who make tough calls but listen to experts. And under all of that is one invisible foundation, basic social consensus. Without that, the rest crumbles. Consensus doesn't mean everybody agrees. It means we at least agree on some basic facts, rules, and values so we can argue productively. Why it matters? It's the soil where good policy grows. Without it, you get laws no one respects. It lets us have arguments that are about solving problems, not just winning points. But when consensus breaks down, here's what happens. Discussion turns into performance. The aim shifts from finding truth to beating the other side. Facts and logic get replaced by loyalty tests. Think about this contrast. 1960 seconds civil rights movement. Dr. King's "I Have a Dream" speech drew on the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal. He didn't invent a new moral code. He reminded America of its own and pointed out the gap between promise and reality. That common ground gave his words power. Black Lives Matter era, still about urgent injustice but also tangled in symbolic battles. Debates over removing statues, banning certain words, or rejecting all lives matter as racist. The middle ground, it shrank. And polarization deepened. You can see the same thing in debates about climate change, vaccines, economic policy. Everywhere. In just a decade, rational discussion has been replaced by stance-taking. Why is consensus collapsing right when we need it most? Because our public sphere, the space where citizens share information and ideas, has been smashed to pieces. Philosopher J. Regan Habermas described the public sphere as coffee houses, town squares, newspapers, places where people heard the same news at the same time and argued it out face to face. Before the internet, we had shared time. You got the morning paper, watched the 6 p.m. news. We had shared topics. Everyone talked about the same headlines. We had mixed groups, neighbors, co-workers, relatives. You couldn't just walk away from different opinions. Now, social media runs 24/7. There's no news cycle, just a constant feed. Everyone gets a personalized stream of stories. Algorithms figure out what you like and keep feeding you more of it. Result, information bubbles. You see one slice of reality over and over until it feels like the whole world. And the social side effects are brutal. Our identities flatten into single-issue labels. We can block or unfollow people in a click. Civil discourse, rare. The public sphere evaporates, and so does consensus. Bubbles feel safe until they meet reality, and reality, lately, has been very loud. Pandemics, wars, inflation, climate disasters. These black swan events do three things. Breach the bubble suddenly. We're all talking about the same thing again. Trigger backlash without practice in civil debate. People double down in even tighter second-order bubbles. Plant seeds of doubt when lived experience clashes with bubble narratives. Some people start rethinking their views. Philosopher Thomas Hobbes once said that shared fear drives people to seek order. Shared harm can do the same, but pain alone won't rebuild consensus. We have to work at it. Check your own bubble, follow a few smart people you disagree with, turn off recommended for you feeds, separate facts from opinions. Your side's feelings aren't data. Rebuild the commons. Whether it's local forums, civic groups, or new media platforms that surface different perspectives, we need shared spaces again. Practice civic skills. Listen before arguing. Keep emotions in check. Look for overlapping goals like safety, stability, sustainability. And yes, Fukuyama's pillars still stand. Strong institutions, social trust, and leaders who value expertise over applause lines. Information bubbles are like comfort food for the brain. They taste great but leave us malnourished. And in a risk society, that's dangerous. Black swans, as disruptive as they are, shove us back into a shared reality. If we're brave enough, that discomfort could be the spark for a new kind of consensus. It won't be quick, it won't be easy. But if we can learn to engage across differences again, we just might build a future that can weather the storms ahead together.